Maja, John, Ned, and Juanito in Asheville, North Carolina. And in some ways, it's not great that I'm broadcasting from bed. I am sick. I'm actually tremendously better. 5 days ago, I was medevaced from Mexico back to the U.S. for medical treatment for what was diagnosed as metastatic prostate cancer, and it's turned out to not be that at all. And probably I have no life-threatening condition. I may have a little bit of cancer, but probably not much. So I am back from the dead in many ways, and still just shaking myself because this is brand new news just the last couple of days. So I can't avoid the fact that I'm in bed. I'm getting better rapidly, and tomorrow I'm being transferred to a rehab center and back. Well, who knows how far my recovery will go, but I'm wildly happy. And I'm back. Actually, it was wild. On one level, I stayed very happy through the whole process of believing I was dying. And there's another way that it's kind of good that I'm in bed because I want to talk about sex. I do. I want to talk about sex, and I want to talk about the Catholic Church. There's so much focus right now on who's the new Pope going to be. And I detest the Catholic Church, having been raised in it, having studied for 5 years to be a Catholic priest. My analysis of the world is that the anti-sex positions that the Catholic Church has taken through the years have been enormously destructive for the human soul. And that the current position, there's almost no chance that the next Pope is going to say, let's have women priests. Until there's women priests, the Catholic Church is irrelevant to the modern world because it still is saying, hey, God's a dude, right? God's a dude. God may or may not have a penis, but we're going to have only men because they somehow are more godlike than women. How are you avoiding that? Now, in Mexico, where I've been for the last 2 years, the Congress by law has to be 50-50, 50% women in the Congress. It should be that way in the Catholic Church. 50% of the priests are women. 50% of the cardinals are women. So we're not going to get close to that, are we? No. Now, having spent 5 years in the Catholic seminary myself, I'm here to say that the reason for the dreadful, terrible scandals about priest pedophiles is not because those guys started out to be pedophiles, because the Catholic Church asked them to be celibate, which is insane. Insane. There's a handful of people for whom celibacy is a genuine spiritual path, and they are saints. My buddies from the seminary were not saints. They were regular working class guys looking for a good job that people would appreciate them for. That's what I was. Yeah. So, no, the Catholic Church is not even going to come close. And I just did some AI research about the evolution of the Catholic Church position about sex over time. They no longer say that if you have too much fun having sex, even if you're trying to create a baby, if you have too much fun, it's still a sin. Apparently, through lots of centuries, a lot of people said that, and probably some people still believe it. They still throw the word chaste, that somehow the sexual act, even it should not, it's always got to be joined with procreation. You can't do it just because it feels good or because you want to help each other feel good. Can't be done outside of marriage. It's always disordered, sinful. I don't know why they think the word disorder is going to slide by. It sounds psychiatric. So here's my position. Two people coming together, wanting to make each other happy, wanting to give each other pleasure. Sexual pleasure makes people happy, folks. How do you get away from it? It makes people happy. It feels great. Now, raping is not good. Using another person's body for your own pleasure where you don't care about them is terrible. That's using. That's awful. That's a terrible thing to do. But where you genuinely care about your partner, where you care about your partner's pleasure as much as yours, if not maybe more so. Now, most guys who have any kind of sense will tell you, there's nothing hotter than being close to a woman who's hot. A woman who is like going crazy, turned on, lustful, is so exciting to be close to. What's a greater turn on than that? So to just get your own rocks off without caring, is she getting what she needs? No. And you have to learn from every partner. Every partner will teach you what gets them there. And what gets them there, if it's kinky, if it's anal, if it's oral, that's their business. Bureaucracies have no place in the bedroom, whether it's the government bureaucracy or the church bureaucracy. Mind your own business. And how are a bunch of celibate guys going to make rational policy for sex, for families, for couples? They don't know. They just don't know. And forget that whole, the Pope is omnipotent. What do they use the term? He knows, he never makes a mistake. Come on, Trump claims that. And neither Trump nor the Pope should make a stupid claim like that, because there's a long litany of crazy things popes have said through the years, crazy positions the church has taken. So, sorry, folks. There's a real good chance of a disaster that they'll go backwards. Even if they pick someone who's going very much in the same lineage of the last Pope, who was a good guy and was on the right track, unless they radically jump forward, unless they make women priests, women cardinals, celebrate sex between two people, married, unmarried, gay, straight, whatever, celebrate it. It's a gift from God. Unless they do all that, they're hopeless. They're hopeless in Mexico. I'll tell you that after 2 years in Mexico. Yeah, you call it a Catholic country. Probably 70 to 90% are baptized, but they don't practice. No, the Pentecostals have the wind at their sails now. You go to a Catholic church, it's small. And maybe in Mexico City, some great cathedrals, there's some spectacular cathedrals, but what goes on in those churches is anemic compared with hooting and hollering and singing and dancing. My greatest form of worship, in addition to sex, is dance. Dance. Put your body into it. The body, which has never been celebrated in the Catholic Church. I'm sorry. I have very little hope. I have very little hope for the Catholic Church. I hope for God's sake that they come up with another great person, but it's not going to be good enough. No, the Catholic Church is in the dustbin of history as far as I'm concerned. It's too late. It's been too late for a long, long time. Amen. Bye.